When car fanatics can't wake up before 11 a.m. unless there's some sort of event called a Cars and Coffee, you know there's something chemically wrong with us. I am that fanatic. We've spent the last 15 years going to car shows pretty much across the globe, from Japan to Rise and Shines to Gatlinburg's to now we're here at Riverside 9. To some, probably one of the best shows I could honestly say is in this country. But I've been asked a million times, why? Why go to these things when sometimes it seems like these car meets nowadays are filled with $1,500 haphazard put together piles of junk? And to be honest, most of the cars at the end of the day end up jumping out onto the street and causing street takeovers. So what's the deal? Riverside technically is a car meet, which had me wondering, well, why? Are car shows worth going to anymore? I'm AlexMartini. Let's go find out. In 2024 alone, there's gonna be 11 million people that go to a car show just like this. And over $677 billion is gonna funnel into this industry for vulnerable Subaru owners to pick up wheels, intakes, and exhausts. You don't give a shit about that. You care about this. Riverside has run for 9 years now, Riverside 9, and that means Mason and his team of fantabulous, trendy folks know what they're doing. I mean, look at these cars. All right, I made a mistake. I suppose not everything can be a Porsche 930 Turbo, can it? So I guess it's time for me to whip open my laptop, make my TikTok about the car meet being corny with some sort of fun background music, right? Now let me be clear, the cars I just showed you were over in the spectator lot. They're not in the meet, they're not in the show or the pavilion. But it does beg the question of a lot of people that do that. They want to get attention, and they'll probably do anything they possibly can to get it, even if it's negative. Why do you go to car shows?
Out of pure enjoyment. It's something that I like to go with a lot of friends, so you kind of get to hang out with everything and kind of see all these new builds.
For people like Alex, the good people, the good people!
I really enjoy seeing all my friends. Like, my friends are literally the whole reason that I come here. I don't even come for the cars, really. Well, I mean, I feel like I've seen everything now, like.
To hang out, see good friends, take pictures, and see cool cars.
Do you believe the negativity around car meets, that they're getting worse?
Yes and no. I am against takeovers. I don't really like them. You do it on your free time in an empty parking lot, cool, but don't do it at shows. It just ruins it. But
Yes.
Okay,
yes,
why?
Yes. Based on the people and the environment, it's all gonna make an answer for itself. If we all work together and do our part, whatever our part is, we know what our part is, it'll get better. But yeah, it's a little negative right now, I feel like.
I think that's just the internet being the internet. Like, I don't see any issues here thus far, but then, like, there's a certain group of people that I feel like just really like to.
And what type of group is that?
I don't know, to be honest. Personally, I don't know.
Sounds like you do.
I don't know any personally, but there's a lot of people that like repost a bunch of takeover stuff on their stories, and I'm assuming it's that kind of crowd, you know?
In a way, I kind of think it is, because a lot of people are looking for attention short term, you know, revving like crazy, doing a burnout, trying to get people to look at them, get a view, get a video, stuff like that. But I think some people are in this for that instead of the actual love of cars. So in a way, yes.
And what's like a controversial hot take you have in the car scene?
I don't like when they overstretch the tires and there's an inch of the barrel showing. When you're tucked, cool. But when you're just parked,
Like the Sudani style, like the super stretch stuff.
just not a fan.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but camber isn't everything anymore.
Ooh.
I had to. We're maturing here.
That does go into the next question though. Like, what's your favorite car you've ever shot before?
It had to have happened to, was it yesterday now? Jared's 964 dark gray on black BBSs is now the favorite that happened 2 days ago.
Just good vibes.
It's
Porsches
great.
are just
It's great.
Porsches match the vibes of Riverside.
I almost fell off the mountain watching him through my rearview mirror and my side mirror trying to watch him go up the mountain.
What's your controversial car opinion? What's a hot take you have in the car scene?
I'm not a huge fan of stanced Subarus.
People modify cars just to modify them and don't actually have a theme.
I mean, the same thing that everybody says. If you go to Takeovers, bro, stop it. Don't go to Takeovers. That shit's garbage.
That shit for big weenies. Well, that doesn't really seem to be the case. Who knows? Maybe the internet is just filled with hate-filled 16-year-olds or something. But not all car shows are as, well, clean as this one. What I just showed you seems to be happening all across the United States, and it seems like car shows are the one to blame, even if they had nothing to do with it. It almost seems like people are incapable of coming to a car meet of any kind and not sending it into a curb on the way out. Do you think car meets start street takeovers?
Yes.
Is that different than what Riverside 9 is?
Yes.
How so?
This is not a car meet. This is a well-organized, put-together event that already puts out and ignores all of that traction. So we don't even feel like it's gonna happen here because look how well-grounded it is here.
What do you think the car scene is gonna look like in 5 years?
I think it'll be better.
Do you think car shows start street takeovers?
No, I just think it's people that just don't like car shows and just want to be the center of attention.
That's fair, that's fair. And where do you see the car scene in like 5 years?
Gosh, I don't know, maybe flying cars.
Flying car, I like
I
it.
always expected that in 2024 or anything like that we were gonna have flying cars, but here we are still gas.
Like the Jetsons.
Yeah, kind of like that. But I mean, I hope there's more ideas. I always feel like you run out of ideas, but I know people are going to come up with newer things and everything like that.
Do you think car shows start street takeovers?
No, I think they're a bit separate. Right? It's definitely a different crowd, and I would like to think positively that people here, the communities that we have, they try to influence not that behavior, they try to influence the proper behavior. So I don't think that it's connected.
What do you think the car scene looks like in 5 years?
Hopefully better. Hopefully less of that takeover stuff.
Do you think car shows start street takeovers?
I don't think so. Again, I think it's that certain group of people
That group that we're not talking
The
about.
group that we're not talking about, yeah, I think they just encourage it, and then some people listen and start going crazy,
And where do you think the car scene's gonna be in 5 years?
I don't know if there will be one in 5 years.
That's heavy.
I mean, the way it's looking right now, like shows going downhill.
Shows going downhill, taxes going up.
Yeah, a lot of stuff coming out.
Y'all need to come down to Tennessee,
Yeah, y'all need to come to Tennessee. See me?
where it's safe. Did I do the accent right?
You did it great.
All right, thank you so much, Josie. But I forgot to tell you the best part of car shows. This. Why am I here at a random house that's way out of my tax bracket? Well, as much as I love house music and $70 hoodies, I love doing this a lot more. Over the past 5 years or so, I have found way more joy in spending time with the friends and family around me that I've met through cars rather than looking at cars themselves. Sure, cars are cool, but getting able to rent a house and have drinks and make food and just have a good time with your friends in a place that you've never been to before, that's a memory. So are car shows pointless now? I mean, 15 years ago, you'd come to something like this and social media would be barely having a touch on what this thing looks like. 25 years ago, we'd see a bunch of Eclipses with Mark IV rear end conversions on it. That was a thing. And if you looked 45 years ago, there wouldn't be a car show at all because of the oil crisis. And I still have people coming up to me saying that car shows are pointless, they're worthless. There's so many street takeovers and bad cars that come here. Is it the quality of cars then? I don't think so. We were just standing next to a 911 Turbo and an E30 M3. There's a Porsche Panamera behind you, and there's an F80 M3, and there's a Chaser behind me too. So I'm not entirely sure that it's the quality of cars. Well, is it the hosts? Is it the hosts that are being too lenient by letting cars in or not letting cars in? Well, here at Riverside, they've ran this for 9 years, and it's been perfect pretty much since the beginning, all because Mason and his team refused to settle on what this event is supposed to feel like, which is just a vibe. So part of me is still confused as to why car shows might be deemed pointless, but for me, I think I've figured it out. When you're a kid, your parents are gonna make you go into sports. They're gonna make you get into soccer or football or karate, and they're not looking for you to become the next Max Verstappen. They're not looking for you to become the next Messi or the next LeBron James. They're doing it because they want you to be a part of a team. They want you to make friends. They want you to find your second family. And what ends up happening is you learn so much from that experience. You learn about how to mess up things. You're gonna make a million mistakes, but the goal is that you're doing it with friends, with a team. And then you get older, you find a significant other, you get married, you have kids, and all of a sudden that team that you were once a part of for your entire childhood goes away. And sometimes you want to try and find a way back. And that is what I think is so special about cars. Cars are a place where a community of people from all different walks of life, get to come together and enjoy one common passion, which is cars. It doesn't matter what you look like, it doesn't matter where you came from, it doesn't matter what you build. What matters is that you come for the people. And that is what makes events like Riverside so special. Sure, there's a bunch of bad news in the car community scene. Sure, it's easier to talk negatively about things that are happening. And sure, it's gonna get way more views than something more positive, or maybe something that has a little bit more meat on the bones than just saying street takeovers are ruining everything. But for me, and the real reason that I think people should continue to come to these things is not for the cars, but for the people.